Rich Fenton here. It is Small Biz on Business Monday here at the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center, brought to our friends over at Rhode Island Commerce. We're talking about everything entrepreneurial, everything business, and we have Jacob Ennis here from Wichual. Wichual, did I get it right?
Daily Wichual. Yeah.
Daily Wichual, and there's multiple ways to have a Daily Wichual, right?
Yeah.
There is the mobile version of the Daily Wichual.
There is.
And there is the permanent global headquarters of Wichual.
That's it. Yeah.
We should probably give away what the Wichual is. It's a restaurant.
Yeah, it's a sandwich shop. So I mean, it's a sandwich shop and food truck. Food truck coming very soon. Within a few days, hopefully we can be out and about.
Excellent.
We focus on local cuisine. Both mine and my wife's experience is really high-end fine dining. We decided to take that love for using local ingredients and the care for food and put it into street food and sandwiches, like something comfort. So we make all of everything in-house, basically. All the breads, all the spreads. We roast turkey, I roast the beef, I cook corned beef. If we sell it, we make it, and if we can't make it ourselves, then we buy it from somebody local that does.
So you have taken the, buy local, farm to table, all those expressions, and really morphed it into a sandwich shop.
Into a sandwich shop,
And
yeah.
do the patrons of your sandwich shop on Jefferson Boulevard appreciate the care, the local, the touch and feel, all the effort you put into it?
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big thing about who we are. I mean, we try to be good to our community. Obviously, the people that come in every day are already building local kind of group of clientele that's back all the time. Really do appreciate that level of care for the food. And the fact that they can look on our list on the board and see where the farms come from and what we get from each farm. So we update that every time we get a new delivery of products coming in. So.
And it's the supply there. I think with so many folks moving towards, trying to procure really great product from local suppliers, is there enough supply on a regular basis?
There definitely is.
Yeah.
With some great local organizations like Rhode Island Farm Fresh,
right?
That they sponsor most of the farmers markets here in Rhode Island, but there's a lot of local producers, a lot of local farms, a lot of guys that are just doing some cheeses or some small amounts of stuff, but a lot of really great individual products from individual people. And as long as you can find those things and get
right.
those things, which is much easier now with technology. I mean,
right.
Years ago, it was very difficult to source from all those local farms. It was actually going to every farm and picking it up and calling them in. And now it's nice. They have websites and you can order right through them, and it makes it very easy.
How long have you been on Jefferson Boulevard?
So we opened up just after Thanksgiving. So 7-8 months.
Yeah.
8 months. So.
And it's going great?
It's going really well.
Yeah.
We're super excited about the truck getting started. That was the main goal of the business, was the food truck. We hit a lot of delays in building. We wanted to build ourselves. We wanted to do as much of the work as we could ourselves instead of buying a pre-made truck. And that caused a lot of delays. But luckily we had the shop. We need that space anyway to make the amount of food that we actually make. We could never produce all the breads that we make, 7 different types daily.
It's amazing.
We couldn't do that in a truck by itself. We need a storefront and we need a location to have those products made in.
And how do you see the food truck working in concert with, the brick and mortar? Do you see it as the supply chain, or do you see them as complementary, just different retail opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be basically the same food on both. Now, the storefront will produce all of the food. It will work as our commissary kitchen. That's where we'll have the crew baking the breads and making, cooking corned beef and brining corned beef and all those things that need to happen. But as well as the truck will be out and about on the street getting people to come in. I mean, Jefferson Boulevard, where we are, it's not a residential area. It's it's just a lot of businesses. It's very industrial.
A lot of businesses, and you've got some big employers there. Citizens is over there, and that whole metro complex. Do they come?
There's a lot of them. I know. We see a lot of those people, and it's great. ADP is on there. We get a lot of people from there. But it's after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, it's dead. So that's when the truck will be out. You know? I mean, that's when people will be able to still get our food, but that street is really conducive to Monday to Friday
Yeah,
work.
right.
When
11 to 2.
We want to be selling all week long and get out on the
And do you
events.
see the first food truck as a potential of being a series of food trucks? Is that kind of the business?
Well, I mean, obviously, that
yeah.
would be the best case scenario would be, a fleet of them around the country and franchise it out. But we'll start small. We'll take our steps.
And you came down from Maine.
Well, yeah, me and my wife met in Maine. I'm a New Yorker originally. She's from Canada, from Saskatchewan. But we met working at a 5-star restaurant in Kennebunk, Maine.
Which restaurant?
The White Barn Inn.
Oh, yeah.
So we were there. I was there for 2 years. She was there for a year, and then fell in love and both went different ways as far as experience and cooking. Both went to different restaurants. We had long distance relationship for nearly 6 years.
Wow.
And then finally came back together and got married. So
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you here in Rhode Island. Anytime we can attract people and try and sustain a congressional seat, it's big news here. We're all for it. Talk a little bit about, you partnered with Commerce RI. Talk a little bit about, what they've been able to help you with, and why should they be, I'll throw it to you a little bit.
Sure,
why
yeah.
should they be investing in a sandwich shop and a food truck?
Well, that's a great question, because it's the toughest thing to get a loan for.
Right.
So Commerce RI, as well as the SBA and SCORE. SCORE is an organization, a state organization. It's a state committee of retired executives. We worked with them to get our business plan up and running. To get it to a point where we could present it to the SBA, to Commerce RI.
Yeah.
And to do a restaurant or food service, it's a really risky loan for a lot of people. So we needed somebody that would take that risk on. And Commerce RI would, because we had all of this extra help, getting our ducks in a row, really building the business plan from ground up with SCORE, going through CIC, Community Investment Corporation. They really helped us get to the point where we could go to Commerce RI with the full package and say, this is why we're going to be a success. This is why we're going to take your money and pay you back.
Right.
I mean, it's a loan. They don't just give it to me to spend. But it's really great that there's those organizations out there that can help small businesses that are especially considered a high risk. I mean, and that's what a restaurant is. It's a high risk industry. So there's a lot of turnover. So they want to make sure you're set up for success before you do. And they're really, we got a lot of help along the way through state like SCORE and the SBA to make sure we were ready for the Commerce RI and the small business loan that we got.
So talk a little bit, you don't have to give away any numbers or anything proprietary, but based on where you thought you'd be after, you're about 7 months old now, so let's say the first 6 months, based on where you thought you'd be in 6 months, where are you?
So the shop is doing better than expected.
Nice, win, ching, 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 ching.
That's
right?
A big thing. With the slow and steady growth, which is what we want at the storefront. We knew it wasn't going to be open. We're not on that street corner in the middle of downtown that we could just have 1,000 people walking by every day. But it's been slow and steady growth above what we expected. Now the food truck was behind schedule, delays because of everything. But as soon as that gets out, we're expecting that to do really well too. We're budgeted to do quite well, hopefully, as long as we can get in while the season is still here. But obviously that's behind because of what we wanted it to be. But
so let's talk about this food truck. Where are we going to find this food truck? First of
all
all,
over.
I'm fairly upset that you handcraft corned beef, and there is no corned beef here this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did eat right before I came, though.
Oh, at least that makes me feel better. At least one of us ate right before the show. Where are we going to be able to find this food truck?
Well, we'll be, all over Providence, all over Rhode Island, anywhere that we can get into.
Could we get it at that location right out there on Waybossa Street on Tuesday afternoons for lunch?
Parking areas. We have a massive truck, one of the biggest ones in the state. It's 22-foot overall length, 13 feet high, so it's really quite large in comparison to some of the other trucks that are out. It's very noticeable. Black and yellow are our colors, so it's like a big bumblebee going down the street. But we'll try to get in Food Truck Friday and the Food Truck Night in Warwick and Narragansett Beach, and we'll be involved with Food Trucks in which is a great organization locally that sponsors a lot of the food truck events. We've been in contact with them throughout the process of just trying to let them know that we're ready. We're almost there. We're almost there. As soon as we're ready, we're on the ticket. And because we're doing food that's so different than what other people are serving,
right.
The fact that we're making everything in house, we're doing just hot sandwiches. There's not another truck that's really like ours out and about. So that'll give us an in to some of the events where other trucks wouldn't.
Now, I would consider myself a corned beef sandwich connoisseur. Probably the best corned beef sandwich I've had around here in the last few years, since Miller's closed on Hope Street, probably 20 years ago, is Mercer's up on Wayland Square. And how good is this corned beef sandwich?
Well, it's my favorite sandwich. It's one of only 2 sandwiches that we will never take off the menu, and that's because it's my favorite. And it's not a typical corned beef Reuben. I mean, it is corned beef, but instead of using sauerkraut, we make a choucroute, which is the French word for sauerkraut, but it's with fennel. So it has a fennel choucroute, our homemade Thousand Island, Swiss cheese, Gruyere cheese.
Can I go the other way though? Can I just go corned beef on rye with yellow mustard?
Sure.
And
I
won't offend anyone?
Yeah, we make our own mustard in-house too. So, I mean, like I said, if we can make it, we do.
So what do you say to folks who are sitting at home and they're watching this, or they're going to catch it tomorrow, and they're going to say, God, I really want to have my own business, and I love food, and I, worked in food services, and how do I get started? What's the advice you'd give to folks who are really thinking about, sparking their own business?
It's definitely planning. With SCORE and the CIC behind us, they really showed us every step of the way what we needed to be doing, where we needed to be as far as our planning. I've been in the restaurant industry for 20 years. I've been an executive chef at restaurants for the last 10, and it's all the minute details
right.
that you never think of running a restaurant that you need to know before you open it yourself. Those are all very important, and it's a big thing for us is to have those ties to our community. So that was a big thing for us. Now, local food is more expensive, so we knew that ahead of time.
Right.
But if somebody wants to do it, they just need to know what they want to do and try to know everything about that thing. I mean, it's like any business.
Right.
You want to be knowledgeable
right.
in what you're doing.
Listen, we're a digital news company. I always say it doesn't matter who's here, CEO of a company with 1,000 employees or whomever. I always say, listen, we're all hardware stores, right?
Yeah.
We got to buy nails. We got to hire the guy that helps on Saturdays. We got to sell more nails to be able to pay for all these things, or we go out of business.
Exactly.
So it's all a hardware store.
Yeah.
Listen, I really appreciate you coming in. I cannot wait to have one of these corned beef sandwiches. I may drive down to Jefferson Boulevard.
Hey,
I feel so strongly
Monday
about
to Friday, 11 to 5, we're there. So.
Listen, thank you so much
Thanks
for coming
so much
in.
for having us.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'll be back at 4 o'clock with Gary Sass and Saul Kaplan. Lots to discuss there, everything from crazy hedge fund investments to what's going on with Amazon and their new store designs and their lack of employees and their expansion of that model. But we'll be back at 4 o'clock with those two smart guys. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. Thank our friends over at Commerce RI, and for two cool entrepreneurs for coming on today. We'll be back at 4.